Go easy! Hey guys, Kapper here. Today I'm out in Kentucky and we are going to move that brand new tower blind that I just put all the work and labor into. I hunted it once and now I'm going to move it again, and I'm going to show you why. It's attention to detail, to those little things that make all the difference. So let's get out in the field and have some fresh air. All right, thanks for joining me today. So recently, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I just finally got this deer tower set up in this location. And if you've seen the video on that strategy, I set it up in this east to west lane by design, so I'd have a good view up to the top, to this food plot, over to the left, which is downhill, to another nice food plot, and then over to the right is the lane which the deer travel on. And I took into account the evening thermal direction, which always goes downhill, as well as the evening sunset, because I primarily will hunt in the evenings. And so here's the two factors that I misjudged just ever so slightly, but it's going to make a big difference. First of all, the sunset. I didn't take into account that this left food plot was canted just a little bit. I kind of thought it was straight east and west, but it's actually canted. So what that did was made the sunset come hit that blind right at the most crucial hour, like the last hour. The sun was directly on the left side of that blind, and the very first deer I saw out of this sit daylighted me because of that. So if I left it where it's at, I'd have to keep that window basically closed, and there's a really small opening towards that plot, so I wouldn't have time to shoot, or if a big buck came out, I'd have to unzipper the whole thing. So that's the first thing. The second thing, if you look at this food plot and you see this little hump in the middle, I presume that the thermals were going to come downhill and come down this lane and kind of hook to the left a little bit because of that hump. But I was wrong. The downhill is such a long stretch on this whole lane that it blows right over that hump. So in other words, my evening thermal scent is going right into this beautiful food plot. And no deer came out on this very first hunt in that plot, and I'm pretty sure that's why. They probably caught my scent. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to move it, and you're going to see where I move it and why, and I'm going to tell you I'm pretty excited about this next setup. Alright, so now I'm headed to clean up my own mess. I'm going to attempt to move that big tower with the blind on it to a better spot. Yeah, I mean, if you want to see big deer, you just can't be half butt, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I'd rather move it to a better spot than hunt it in marginal conditions, especially with the thermals and the sun coming right in there. Alright, so this is the plot I want to set up on, okay? So the thermals go like this in the evening, and they may curve a little, but it looked like they go straight. So there's a somewhat flat spot right here. If I can get in here and trim this with the bush hog, it shouldn't take a ton of work to be able to tuck it in a little, and then the sun is going to be right over here, so it's going to be shaded in the evening. And the thermals then are going to be going kind of like this into the woods there. Not exactly, I normally would want it down there so your thermals are off of this whole field, but this is where the deer linger in this food plot just for a little bit when they're moving. And I got a really nice couple of big bucks right in this field in November of last year, so that's why I'm setting up here. my bubble level. Dwight's bringing up the real one. I forgot it. All right, here's a look at it. I'm kind of debating if I'm going to try and cut any more or not, or just wedge it with lumber under one or two of the corners. All right, I took the chair out and the ladder off. I got Dwight and his brother helping me out. We're going to try and move this whole thing. It ain't got to go very far, just down to that plot.
Watch it. Make sure it don't dig in the ground. Tilt her back some. Hold that. Can you bring the truck and put the ladder in the back?
Yeah, I can.
The level's already back there. And maybe the chair too. Go easy! Hold that, Joe! Watch your trees! Hold up! Back up! There you go! Easy!
Now I can't see the top, so holler.
Stop! Stop!
All right, here's that scrape. You see they're hitting it. I got a camera right there. Of course, I forgot my cards, but look at this. I mean, you're only about probably 90 yards from the other spot, which was just around the corner there. But this is a far, far superior setup. All right, we're in business, man. Check this out. And that's a scrape tree right there. I moved that last year for that reason. The cedar didn't survive, but there still made a scrape under it. So we already got bucks in this field. Thermals are going to go down as the hill goes down. The thermals tend to go over the deer's head, whereas when they're coming down this hill, they come right across this plot. So now they're going to go that way and this way. Perfect for this setup for evening thermals. And anything out of the north, that's south right there. So you could do a northeast, a northwest, or a straight north, or a calm evening with the thermals. Looking forward to this one. This turned out fantastic. I'm glad I took the effort to move it. Now that chair really creaked a lot. So what I find is I have to just tighten all this stuff up. And that usually knocks down most of the noises these things make. There we go.